loved it so much I broke my glass because I was clapping so loudly.
The festival itself is terrific.
Ludlow is just a glorious town, glorious festival. I've enjoyed every second of it.
Hilarious. I mean, it was great. Loads of fun to be involved with.
Oh, they were lovely. Look at them all. Lovely people, the people of Ludlow.
This is the first event we've been to, but we'll come to lots more.
Well, good evening. Testing, 1, 2. I'm Nick Horston. I'm delighted to be the patron of this year's Ludlow Festival. And on my left or my right, I can never work out, and I can't even elbow you, is the Managing Director of Ludlow Fringe, Anita Bigsby. Hello, Anita. How are you?
Hi there. I'm okay. How are you, Nick?
I'm good, actually. It's always a minor miracle when we get this stuff working, isn't it? So I should say lovely weather in Ludlow tonight, shouldn't I? But it's obviously not, is it really? Because I'm not there, and
No,
you just told me it's been raining.
I was going to do this live in the garden this evening, but it clouded over and then it started raining. So
well, here we are up.
I should say I'm on the square.
Here we are in Castle Square again on your caravan, your trailer. You've we've had quite a journey, haven't we? Because we started off on the old bench up on the top of Clee Hill, or Wycliffe, didn't we? We started off up there. Then we came down here on the 28th. Then we went down to the brewery. Then we went down to, where was it? Stokesay Court, wasn't it? Oh my goodness, that was lovely. I bet that's lovely tonight. Well, not in the rain. And then the Feathers last week, where I learnt my silver service, so opposite the butchers, where I was a butcher's boy. And here we are back in Castle Square. Absolutely lovely, 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 lovely. So what's the goss? What's the news this week, Anita?
Oh well, it's all getting together now. It's actually starting to get quite excited about it. For so far, it's been get it done, and now it's going to happen. So yeah, it's really exciting. And this lovely trailer stage that you're looking at behind me is going to be decorated on Friday. It's going to be all, it's going to have some lovely decorations on there. So it's going to look very, very fringy, and it's going to look wonderful on the square, which you're taking it up there next week.
You're very, very chuffed with your trailer, aren't you? Obviously, I don't want to get people gossiping too much, but you've got a bit of a trailer thing going on, haven't you, Anita? Truth be told.
Oh, we have. I do love my trailer.
So, what role is your trailer going to have over the festival, during the Fringe Festival? What are the plans for it, roughly?
Well,
What's
that
the role?
trailer is actually a stage as well, so it's going to be our stage. We're just putting our curtains inside, and it's actually going to have proper stage curtainings. It'll have a stage left, a stage right. It'll have it won't quite have a green room, but it'll have wings.
Well, I'm
and
pretty used to it left and right when I'm back to front, and I don't know how actors get away with it. Actually, here you go. I hope you don't mind. You actually sent me this early, didn't you? Let's give everybody a sneaky peek of the super cool graphics. How cool is that, everybody?
That's really lovely.
So
isn't it?
if I can zoom in on that a little bit, I think this is absolutely wonderful. And this
Elliot at the Visual Works has produced that for us, and EPS printers in Craven Arms are coming down to actually put all of that on Friday.
That's just brilliant.
It's going to be lovely.
Looks really cool, and that's going to fold down and provide a stage, isn't it? It's going to be really cool.
That bit in the middle, it folds down to fold a stage, and up to form some protection for anybody who's on the stage. So that opens out fully, the middle bit.
Because we're building a cardboard pyramid stage up at Ludlow Primary School on the Friday the 25th, and then we're going to come and build our cardboard pyramid stage, half size, not full size obviously, but it's a half size one, about 200 feet tall. And then we're going to have people performing on green screens on your trailer, and we're going to film them, but the world will see them as if they're actually on the pyramid stage, right? It's going to be amazing. They won't be able to see your graphics on that case, but I can't wait. I can't wait, Anita. So I've got. I know
we're very excited. I say we've got something on there every weekend throughout the festival. There's going to be the big sing. We've got the big dance. It won't be just on there. The big dance will actually be in the square as well. We've got Two-Face Dance Theatre, Metaphor Dance, Eat a Frog. We've got some local dancers from Instets, and we've got the people, I shouldn't say just ladies, because it's not just ladies, but we've got a Zumba class going on as well. So lots of things going on. We've got the big sing with Shropshire County Council have brought some of the choirs together, and they'll all be singing from the stage, but it won't just be choirs, it'll be all sorts of other people, and people coming from all over to do that.
fantastic.
And then we've got storytellers as well. Storytellers, people reading their stories and poetry. And,
Well, talking of poetry, actually, and not wasting too much time, just had a bit of a message in my ear, which obviously sounds like I know what I'm talking about and I'm in control. A little message in my ear. There's no message at all in my ear. I'm only wearing these for show. It makes me look like a pro. We've actually got Rick Sanders from There's Nothing Funny About Poetry. So I think there's a bit of a clue in there, Anita. No taking the mickey out of his poetry, please. Let's see if we can get him up here. There we go. Rick, can you hear us, Rick?
I can. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
We can. It's always a good thing, isn't it? People take it for granted with Zoom, but we've got a bit more technology than Zoom tonight. So Anita, tell us a little bit about what Rick's going to be doing. Nothing funny about poetry.
I think Rick should tell us about what he's going to be doing. And let's give Rick a chance.
I'll step in. In true comic style. So you're slightly off with the title there, Nick, but I'll let you off because we're amongst friends. So there's nothing funny about comic poetry, and that's the little segue in there into the comic bit of it, which is basically a audience participation hour-long show, which is inviting you to come and decide who between myself, Willis, aka Willis the Poet, and Ben Moore, who's aka the Park Bench Poet, who is the world's funniest poet. And that's basically it. So we're going to have what they call a comic off live to a live audience, and we're going to the audience are going to pick themes from a hat, and then Ben and I will go head to head on those themes, giving you some poetry, getting some audience reaction, getting the judges. Got a couple of judges in there. Hold up some scorecards. It'll be like Sale of the Century or something like that, if you're old enough to remember that. And then at the end there'll be a winner and there'll be a loser, and the winner will be the self-proclaimed funniest comic poet in the world ever. And that's the premise of the show, really. So it's live poetry. It's a chance for people to come get involved. It's comedy as well. So if you think, I don't really like poetry, but I quite like comedy, then come for the comedy bit, and then you can be inspired and impressed by the poetry.
I must admit, there's something about your delivery that's making me giggle already. There's nothing funny about comic poetry. I'll be honest with you, my good old Lucy, she did type "there's nothing funny about comedy post" in one bit and then something else in another, but it's all good. It sounds absolutely brilliant. Where's this happening, Anita? I don't even know if Rick knows where he is, but do you know where this is going to be?
Oh, I think he does. Yeah, it's in the sitting room in above the Blue Ball.
Oh,
so that's going to be a lovely little venue.
That's so nice.
Yeah, so it is a nice little venue, that one. So we'll have nice. Yeah, we'll keep the windows open.
I'd have got my trailer. I'd have put the trailer out the front of the Blue Boar if I'd known. Oh, hang on, no, the Blue Boar's down that alley by where Woolworths used to be, isn't it? Down that narrow road.
No, that's the Chang Tai. The Blue Boar is on Mill Street.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I was thinking of what was that pub?
The Assembly Rooms.
There used to be a good fighting pub down there. I can't remember which one it was. That's the tie now.
But it was the Blue Boar, I think. Used to have quite a reputation.
Yeah, there you go.
It's become new ownership, and it's a very arty pub now.
So whereabouts are you based, Rick?
So I'm based in Lye, which is in the mighty Black Country, in the middle of near Birmingham. People don't know where the Black Country is half of the time. I mean, I'm not sure we even know ourselves really, because the boundary sort of shifts every 5 minutes. So yeah, not far from Birmingham. I came to Ludlow Fringe 2 years ago, so not last year but the year before. Just bring in some more comic poetry there, which was great fun. We were in the Apple team, I think it is, if I've got the name right. Hope so. Yeah. Where we did, I also do a show which is called Willis the Poet's Comedy Extravaganza, which is where I sort of bring 5 or 6 comic poets to come and perform, really. Give people a chance to see comic poetry at its best. And yeah, really enjoyed that, actually. The venue was fantastic. I went away with about like a whole armful of apples and apple-based products, which was great. I really enjoyed that. And yeah, our hosts were lovely. Yeah, we had a really good time. So I just want to replicate that, but with a different show and in a different venue, really.
Oh, well, let's hope we can. I'm sure we will, because the sitting room is lovely. We may not get any apples, though.
Oh, no, you've let me down, Anita. I was. Will they have beer? Is there beer there?
They do have beer. Yeah, you got some beer.
Yeah, okay, great. That's the good second best.
If you're anything like me, all you've done this year is sit down in front of a computer drinking beer, and I'm actually going to have to stop if I'm going to be lying around on a beach much this summer. I tell you, I'm in a terrible state. I think we need a Slimmers beer option somewhere along the way. Well, that sounds absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us, Rick. I don't know if there's anything else you want to contribute or to say. Just remind us when it is. It's a one-off, is it, your performance?
Yeah, it's a one-off. It's for one night only, world exclusive, on the 4th of July. 7:30 kickoff, so get there nice and early to get your seats. Tickets available through the website. And yeah, and that's it. There's 3 of us in the show, so it's we're hoping not to outnumber the audience, which is always a good thing, I feel. But we'll be plugging it nice and hard now until the 4th.
Already outnumbered the audience, Rick. I think the tickets are selling, so. Yeah,
yay! That's what we like to hear.
We have an audience.
So I'm actually double booked this evening. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to jump off and get onto my other Zoom thing. Oof, it's all Zoom this day, isn't it? I can't wait to get back in front of real people.
Absolutely.
Oh, no, it's
well,
so exciting, isn't it?
Thank you so much for joining us, Rick. I know you're on a very busy schedule. Looking forward to see you in a few weeks. Find this live stream on Facebook and Twitter and ping it out to your friends and tell everybody and get everybody buzzing.
Thanks very much.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot. Cheers now.
Lovely, Rick.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was nice, wasn't it? Fantastic. All good. So, a bit of poetry. Is there any other poetry in the event, Anita, that we should worth mentioning?
We've got storytellers. You've got Rick still there behind you. Oh, there
he's gone. He's gone.
We've got lots of storytellers, and also on the Storytellers Day on the Saturday the 17th, we'll have poets there as well. I think we're going to have the Naked Poet, but she won't be on the stage. She'll have her own private venue, but she's not actually going to be naked either, so don't worry. Yeah, there's lots of literary events. So nothing specifically poetry, I don't think.
Well, so that sounds lovely. I mean, you've got a bit of everything, haven't you? And I'm really excited actually, because I've just had a little message in my ear again, acting all professional. We've actually got another guest lined up. This is Tim Marriott, who's the founder of Smokescreen Productions, who's doing, well, I'm not going to actually start randomly guessing what he's doing, because I'm sure we can get him up here. He can actually tell us. Let's see if I can click the right buttons here. Click, click, click. There we go. Unmute your microphone, Tim, and you can tell us all about your, that was a subtle, can you unmute, Tim? But can I unmute? I'll ask to unmute. There we go. You're muted, Tim. You're muted. We can't hear you.
You're muted.
You are muted, Tim. Just click, click, click. There we go. You just can't get the staff. We can very, very well, actually. Good evening.
Yeah. Hi there. Hi, Tim. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Yeah, really good. Yeah, I'm coming to Ludlow with 2 shows, I think, aren't I, Anita?
You are indeed.
Which we're opening at the Brighton Fringe this week We've just opened Waiting for Hamlet, a Shakespearean comedy, which we opened at the weekend. We've just got some fantastic reviews in for that, which is really exciting. That's going really well. And this weekend, I'm opening another new show, a solo show, so there's a lot to learn in a week, called Watson, and Watson, the Final Problem. And what that is Dr. Watson telling the Moriarty story from his perspective, which we say opens on Saturday. Really looking forward to that one.
That's really exciting, isn't it? I hear Brighton are doing really well with ticket sales. I'm really pleased to see that.
No, I think our first Watson is sold out already. I think when I last looked, there were 5 tickets left, which is tremendous. So there's a lesson to Ludlow.
Yeah, is that going to be in? Yes, yeah, because I mean we are all obviously having to reduce our audience sizes this year as well, for COVID safety. So yeah, I mean venues that would normally
there's a little bit of artifice in all of that when people are saying they're selling out shows, because of course what they're selling out reduced capacity shows.
Yeah.
But a sellout is a sellout,
of course it is, absolutely. And so is your venue indoors at
Yeah, indoors.
Right.
You mentioned the sitting room when you were talking to Rick. I remember coming there a couple of years ago, and you got a bit of video on your trailer there of me shaking my finger.
I thought that when I was watching it. I thought, oh look, there's Tim.
The dreadful Dr. Mengele. And you put us in the sitting room, which was a delightful venue, but it happened to be about 40 degrees that night. It was the hottest night of the year. And I was wearing a heavy overcoat and kept telling everyone that I was cold, which was rather more acting than I wanted to do. But not doing that this time. Though, of course, Waiting for Hamlet is the prequel to the play Hamlet. And if anybody knows the play Hamlet, they'll know that begins with the ghost of the old king appearing on the battlements. So what we do is we imagine the old king, the conversation the old king has with the old dead Yorick, before he goes out on the battlements, which is basically on the lines of saying to Yorick, I want to go out there and correct all these wrongs that have been done to me. And the fool Yorick saying to him, you can't do that, it's not allowed. And me saying, of course I can do that, I'm the king, I can do whatever I want. You're not a king anymore. And that's the premise for the play. But of course it's set between heaven and hell, so who knows whether we're going to be freezing cold or boiling hot.
Fantastic. And of course this time you're in the Feathers Hotel, you're in the Prince Charles Suite, which is a lovely venue. You'll like that. So that's much bigger.
More heaven than the burning hell of the sitting room.
Yes. Well, I think Mengele deserved the
absolutely, hell. He deserved to go down. Yeah,
he did, didn't he? Really, let's face it. I think it nearly killed you last.
The old king is an altogether lighter character, it's an altogether lighter piece. Waiting
fantastic!
For
yeah,
and
I've got your poster here.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. Yeah.
There you go. Waiting for Hamlet.
Ooh.
It arrived today. Yes, and on the other side we have.
Yes,
there
the
you
good
are
doctor.
as Watson. Oh, look.
Yeah. That's interesting. People always look at the Sherlock Holmes stories from Sherlock Holmes' perspective. We all know a little bit about Sherlock Holmes. But Watson's a really interesting character. He was wounded twice in Afghanistan. He's traumatized by what he's seen out there. By the time we join him in 1894, he's lost his beloved wife, Mary, who's sadly died. And he's lost his best mate and companion in detection, Sherlock Holmes, at the Reichenbach Falls. So he's a pretty broken character by the time we join him. And he tells the story of, and he's not the bumbling old fool that sometimes he's portrayed as at all. And because, of course, Conan Doyle himself was a doctor. So when he wrote those stories in the first person, he's imagining himself as Watson. So that's kind of where we're coming from with this piece. And it's written with Bert Coules, who wrote all the BBC adaptations in the 1990s. So it's steeped in Sherlockian lore. It's deeply respectful and authentic. It's not a Mickey take. It's just a jolly good adventure story.
I'm intrigued actually. You say you're in the trailer. Is this the bit of you in the trailer just up here? Is that you there?
Found it. Me shaking my feet. Look at that. Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's me justifying myself as and clutching a book which secretly had my lines in it.
Like the Generation Game all over again, was it?
Yes. So if I got stuck, I could check my notes.
Oh, really? We obviously didn't, because we didn't notice that.
No, I didn't need to do that. No, we were quite well run in by the
Not
time
too
we came.
professional.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. So,
Did you-
are you doing any other fringes this year, Tim?
Well, we're doing a number of them. We're doing the Bristol Shakespeare Festival. We hope. I mean, we're waiting to hear what the government are going to say about the June 21st unlocking, so to speak. But we're supposed to be in Bristol the 24th and 25th of June. I'm doing Sudbury. We're doing Manchester. We're doing. We're still hoping that we're going to get to Edinburgh. That's still up in the air as to. But we'll be in Edinburgh in one way or another. If we're not doing a live performance, we'll do a virtual performance up there. When this hit, I was in Australia, touring Australia, and. Of course, that came to a close very quickly and came back very quickly with a tail between my legs, but came back to 2 new scripts, which is fantastic. So we've been waiting to perform these for over a year. So it's fantastic to actually get them on their feet at last.
So you were at Adelaide.
I was in
Last year.
Adelaide and about to go on to Melbourne and Tasmania. And the way the Australians did things is really interesting. On the Friday, I checked with my venues I was going to in Melbourne and in Adelaide and said, "Are we still on? You know, because I'm hearing terrible things from the UK about this pandemic, and is this going to be happening?" And all my venues said, "Yeah, mate, no, come on, we'll see you soon." You know, we're all still on. And by Monday lunchtime, all those gigs had cancelled, every single one of them. I managed to get a flight out on Tuesday. On Wednesday, flights out of Adelaide were cancelled, and on Thursday they closed the state borders.
Wow.
Gosh. Yeah, it was very quick, wasn't it? Because I was meant to be there as well in Adelaide because it was the World Fringe Congress.
That's right, yeah.
But
And
that
you
did go
didn't come?
ahead. But I didn't go. No, I did sort of like see some writing on the wall and thought, I'm not going to go.
It was quite scary, particularly as Australians haven't really been hit in the same way that we have, and getting the reports from home, and actually my family all got ill here, and being on the other side of the globe while that was happening was kind of interesting.
Gosh, no, it's hard, isn't it? It's very difficult when you're so far away on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Because they hadn't long had the fires there as well, had they? Those terrible fires. So
they've been hit hard with the fires, yeah. There's a lot of talk about climate
but they
change.
did still. They went ahead and they still had a lovely fringe last year, so they managed it. So.
Yeah, we did. The last week numbers died down a little bit because people didn't want to be, locked in a black box space. But yeah, the fringe happened, and then sorry, this year, they've had a fringe, but the fringe this year was very local.
This year.
Very much the South Australian event. What's brilliant about what you're doing in Ludlow is you're bringing people in from all over the place, aren't you? It's lovely to see that you're making Ludlow the centre of the universe for all these people coming in and doing shows, like me coming from miles away in Sussex.
No, I'm really pleased actually this year that we have got so much touring. People really want to come, and I suppose also, Ludlow is quite safe compared to a lot of the big cities, isn't it? And I think people know they're going to be looked after by us as well. All festivals will be looking after their audiences, but obviously we've got an awful lot of COVID safety things in place on all of our venues, and for all of our public events as well. So yeah, we'll keep you all safe.
But you looked after us very well last time, and I came with 2 shows. I came with Mengele and also with Shell Shock, the PTSD piece that I do. We came with that as well, and before going to Edinburgh, and it was a really nice warm up for Edinburgh where we did really well. And a lot of people they go to fringe events like big fringe events like Adelaide or Edinburgh or Brighton, and they take a new show that they haven't run in properly. And we were really lucky in having a number of lead-in events that we were able to go to, like the Ludlow Fringe. We were able to really test out the work in front of an audience, find out what works, and then take it to Edinburgh, and subsequently we could hit the ground running. And it was certainly the responses we got from you in Ludlow was fantastic. Very generous audience, very kind audience.
No, it was very memorable. It was a fantastic, possibly one of the best pieces of theatre we've actually put on, I think, and everyone who came to it still talks about it as well, actually. And I know you won some awards, didn't you, in Edinburgh?
We did, yeah. We were, that was both Mengele and Shell Shock won awards up there, and and we went to New York with both of them in September. We got a trip to New York to perform them both there, and then went on to Adelaide, where Shell Shock won Best Solo Show, and we won an Amnesty International award. We've been really lucky. I was completely naive about the whole thing. Although I'm 127 years old, I had a career as a television actor in the 1990s. I was in a sitcom called The Britas Empire during the 1990s. And when that came to an end, I kind of saw the writing on the wall as I did panto after panto and summer season after summer season, and got out and went into education for the best part of 20 years. And I'd never ever done the Edinburgh Fringe. I'd never done anything like that. And 2017, 2018 were my first experiences of doing the Fringe. And so to be able to do as well as we did, selling out shows and winning awards was really extraordinary. I think we really got lucky.
That's so no, you did a fantastic job, and I think that's the lovely thing about Fringe as well, isn't it? That it does, it gives performers that opportunity, doesn't it, to showcase their work, to try things out, to get that response, and to
both those things were a huge risk. That we're trying to say something. We're trying to. I don't know if you talk about comedy and comedy poetry, and things, which is great and has its place. But what I was trying to do was go back to my roots, which is I grew up. In my first real acting work, it came in working at the National Theatre as an assistant director, and working at Theatre Clwyd in Wales, and producing stuff and directing stuff as well as performing and stuff, and as a child I remember going to see Pinter. My parents, too, as a teenager, took me to see the Pinter plays and the latest Stoppards and challenging theatre that provoked conversations, theatre that got people thinking. And so when I left teaching, that's what I wanted to do. So to take a Holocaust theme with Mengele was a pretty bold choice. And then to take a PTSD as a theme with Shell Shock was another bold choice. And I'm really glad to say that people did come and see those pieces and responded positively to them, because they might not have done. So I'm very grateful for that.
No,
Thank you. Thank you very, very much for joining us tonight, Tim. Absolutely fantastic. Do you want to just give us a little elevator pitch for your contribution, just as a nice little succinct summary, just to wrap up with?
Yeah, fantastic. I'm doing Waiting for Hamlet, which is a Shakespearean comedy imagining the old king and Yorick in the afterlife, debating about whether they should go back or not, which is great fun, pompous old king. And then I'm also telling doing a Sherlockian adventure, a Sherlock Holmes story, but told from Watson's perspective, going across Europe to the Reichenbach Falls, pursued by the shadow that is Moriarty. Telling that story, which is a cracking good tale, and I look forward to seeing lots of people in the audience there.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on Castle Square tonight. We've had a lovely evening chatting to everybody, haven't we, Anita? It's wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
We'll see you in a few weeks.
We'll see you on Wednesday the 7th of July, just a few weeks' time. So looking forward to that.
Cheers then. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Tim. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Wow, well, that was an action-packed show by our standards, wasn't it, Anita? Gosh. All good, all good.
It's very good.
So I think we're not far away now. What, 10 days is it until the sort of the soft launch weekend?
Yep, but it will be a soft launch. Well, the first Saturday's a quiet day. We haven't got any live shows on that one, but we have on the Sunday. We start on the Sunday with live. So on the Saturday, we've got really launching the visual arts and getting our stage out there, and just sort of setting it up and see how it's going to look on the square. I think it'd be good. So yeah, it's a visual arts weekend, the first weekend, because of lockdown. So I'm going to keep that.
Fantastic.
Keep it quiet.
Great stuff. Well, we'll see you next week, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here in Castle Square in Ludlow for the Ludlow Fringe preview. Don't forget to get your tickets. That's the message, isn't it, Anita? Get your tickets booked in now.
Get onto that website, go to www.ludlowfringe.co.uk and look through the programme. It's getting bigger and bigger every day. As well as live shows, we've also got lots of live streams as well. So we've got performances from all around the world that are starting to appear on there. And they'll be free as well. Well, those ones will.
Fantastic. Let's roll the film again and see if we can see how many times we can spot Tim in it this time, shall we? Thanks so much for everybody. Lovely to see you, Anita. See you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you, Nick. Bye-bye.
I loved it so much, I broke my glass because I was clapping so loudly.
The festival itself is terrific.
Ludlow is just a glorious town, glorious festival. I've enjoyed every second of it.
Hilarious. I mean, it was great. Loads of fun to be involved with.
Oh, they were lovely. Look at them all. Lovely people, the people of Ludlow.
This is the first event we've been to, but we'll come to lots more.